Okay, so let's start the process and have a look at what's involved in getting this painted. Yeah, I've just got a tub organised, some brake and clutch cleaner, what I'll use first, and then we'll attack the paint, the prep for paint. It's just, I have to do this first. I mean, it's just got a film of grease all over it, and all you're going to do when you come to prep it is just spread it from A to B, and we all know what it's going to be like when I try painting. There'll be little fish eyes and silicones come up everywhere because of grease. So it's got to be here, it's just grease everywhere inside here. That wants some serious attention on there, but again, grease everywhere. So even the little toolbox, grease underneath. Yeah, see what I mean? I mean, it's absolutely. I'm going to take these little chrome fasteners out of the top there, obviously first. So yeah, taking a look at what we've got to start with, a little bracket we're going to use there. So yeah, we've got our 2K primer, specific hardeners. There's another litre of a bit of 2K primer filler left there with some hardener there, and onto our paints. Gloss black, litre, gloss black, litre. I have got a bit of black there, there's only a bit in that, a bit left in that one, and the 2K fast hardener for the black. Yeah, I mean, in paints, there's so much money in paints, but when you think how far it goes and what it transforms from rough A into, you know, nice B, is again all the unseen stuff. The DA pads, 180 grits, there's some 80 grits in there for kind of filler work, that sort of thing. DA sander on the ready, compressor underneath, but like I say, got a bit of masking. Like I say, we've got to get it all degreased first, so let's just have a look. So there's the, like I say, that's that side of it. I'm going to degrease in here shortly. So if we'll have a look at something else, we've got the mudguard on here. Let's get the drill out of the way. Got the painting table, as you can see. You've probably seen that in a few of the other videos, but on the face of it you don't think it's too bad, but when you actually start looking, it's quite bad. I mean, people were wondering if this has ever been painted before, but just have a look here. See the run on that old mudguard there, just there. It's been painted before. Lots of scabs coming up under these bolt heads, that sort of thing. So I'm going to get this stripped down a bit more, and yeah, just get it prepped. A lot of prep work. There always is with paint. You know, you get out what you put in with the painting. It's the same as anything, I suppose, but you get out what you put in, don't you? Come into the tank, which really is a pain in the butt every time I touch it. See, this is grease up on here now. We've got chips that have been touched in, chips here that have been touched in. More to why I'm saying it's a pain in the ass. I get why they've done it, but underneath it, do you know, I don't know if it's actual deliberate or not. I think it's possibly deliberate, that, yeah, because you can see brushed grease on underneath. Oh, and a leaf. I don't think he's supposed to be there. Anyway, see the grease? Every time I touch it and move it, I put grease on my fingers, and then you touch something else and you put it back on over there. So the only thing I can do with this at the minute is completely degrease it. Just completely degrease the thing. God knows what that is or where that's come from. It's like somebody's old frigging earplug. Where the hell's that come from? This is the state of some of the wiring, so I'm sure we can try and make that go a bit better. And so yeah, this is where we're at with it. Like I say, bit of degreasing and well, a lot of degreasing going on first before we move. Yeah, there's the front mudguard obviously to include in that. So we've got a big front and rear mudguards tank. There's the battery box, come electrical box that's actually been shot blasted. It was so bad I've had that actually shot blasted. Awkward thing to work with too. So it's been shot blasted, that as well. So and obviously the frame I'm awaiting back. Yeah, so I'm going to get on and I'm going to get some of this I'm going to get some of this degreased. Okay chaps, we'll pick it up on the next one. Welcome back. Yeah, as per previous video I was just degreasing stuff down to try and get ready for prep for paint. Post has just been dropped off of calvinklein.com, so you know I'm about to get down with the kids, as they say. No, it's just unfortunately it's not. It's gaskets. Yeah, right, okay. What we've got here, I have to say, what you see in front of you, I don't know why I've got two of them. I don't think I ordered two of them. Anyway, two exhaust gaskets, camshaft front cover gasket, two sump gaskets, because there's the crankcase, then there's a plate, so this is between the crankcase and the plate, which is the oil strainer, and then the underside of the plate to the sump pan is the other gasket, hence the reason there's two. Timing cover cork gasket for the pressed steel, rocker cover gasket and head gasket. Very carefully just move that like that, so fragile. I don't know what I think of that, if I'm honest. See what? No. Okay, it is what it is. Head gasket with a copper ring insert. So is that ever going to crush to the same? It's quite a bit of a right, okay. I don't know what I think of that, if I'm honest. I'm not sure what I mean, I don't mean this with any, you know, I'm not sure on, is that going to be okay? I kind of imagined a composite gasket to be like multi-layered, you know, like we use on the alternative was a thick copper one, but I mean, I don't know. I'll have a word with the boys that I ordered this stuff from about that. But anyway, that's the pack of gaskets there, and we've now got, I'll just move the gaskets aside. Got a new camshaft, new head nuts and head washers, a specific bolt that I required, and these two like little shouldered nuts, another oil seal. We have a fibre washer. I've got the 3 rocker cover nuts, front and rear crankshaft oil seals, and a rear engine mount. And I have to say that and these gaskets is 500 quid, or as good as. Yeah, there we go. I mean, these gaskets, and if we need, there is a few I'm just going to make. I mean, you could go through and buy every one of them. You can get them, but you know, it has to be said, where fair's fair. They're not cheap, you know. And anyway, but onwards and upwards, and well, at least we can progress a bit more with the motor now. So we've got all the gaskets and stuff. So anyway, there we are. That's what we've got. Okay, so picking up back up on the engine now. I think the last time we talked about the engine, we just got the pistons in and honed the bores, etc., that sort of thing. Fitted the split pins and the locking big end bolts, the nuts on the big end bolts. So just frustration again. I mean, where we're at now. I mean, I've just, well, I was going to say laid the head gasket over the studs that I got from a company that deals with Sunbeam stuff. Let's just leave it at that. But sent one head gasket back because the copper ring that was inserted in the fibre, if you like, the composite, when I put that on, the fibre part was actually, it kind of moved into the area, this area that's combustion chamber area, and the flame path would have been past the copper ring into the composite. I just didn't like it at all. Anyway, so I well, timing of that compressor. Wait a minute. Could you? Anyway, so I sent it back, got a copper one, and I've laid over there's only these 4 studs sticking up, and the rest of the studs are in the head that go down through these holes. Okay, but I mean, look at this. Look at this. I mean, you don't know it's going to be that bad fitting until you get it down close to the cylinder head. So now I mean, it was a bit of a struggle to get it over these studs, to be honest. So now I'm going to bend the shit out of it, getting it off, to try and address, you know, alright, it sounds like a bit of a moan, but, you know, they're not cheap, these things. They're really not cheap, and you'd think. Anyway, I've got to address this now somehow. I've got to mark it where I think it's going to want metal removing, just to make the damn thing fit. Anyway, bitch over, I suppose, and we'll move on to the next bit. Okay, welcome back. So we've got we've done the tweak on this gasket. So turns out, in this radius here, on this radius here, it was actually bent more acute than 90. It's as if it had been dropped here, and by doing that, it had kind of, in essence, bent the cylinder's half over this way a little bit, so the misalignment of the holes. So all I did is I got my little quarter drive extension. I lifted it up like so. In fact, hang on, wait there. I'll get it. For anybody else that may get one of these and think, what the hell's going on here? Yeah, all I did is just do that and just tweaked it back, and what it did, it just pulled that. It just pulled that back as it was, and it actually drops over these 4 studs now better. So it completely lines up. It's not in the cylinders anymore. I'm going to say this. The person I got it from was, I have to say, didn't believe me. Even though the company I bought this from didn't believe me. I showed them pictures of it. I emailed them pictures of it. A company down south. That's all I am going to say. But pretty much weren't interested. So anyway, I just couldn't see that it could be that wrong, and looking at it, I mean, everything lines up now. The oil hole, everything just lines up better. You know, you can see it's actually so here we are. We've got the old camshaft's out with a really worn lobes on there. So we're getting ready to offer the cylinder head up. So as we can see here, the new camshaft's in. Valves in, and without losing these little shims now, we can just have a quick look underneath. And there we are, cylinder head wise. So yeah, she's ready for putting the head on. So, but it's actually tea time. It's tea time. Nothing stops tea when you've got, you can't hear on the camera the growling of the guts. So it's tea time, so I'm going to pick this up in a bit after tea, and we'll get the head on, which is a bit of a mission. It really, as it's lowering down, you've got to start, because there's hardly any room in here, you've got to start the, I actually wonder if the nuts go in there first. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a fiddly one, I think. This, there could be swearing. It's going to be a bit of a fiddly one. Anyway, yeah, we've got vertical studs. One's entering into there, but then these enter up into the head this way, and before it can come down, you've got to get each one started, otherwise it bottoms out. So you've got to get each one started, and they all kind of come down together as the head comes down. So anyway, I'm sure we'll manage one way or another. Okay, we'll pick it up in a bit. Okay, so onwards we go. Project Sunbeam. Let's remove the cardboard and we'll have a look. So, frame painted, engine built, and I think we were at the head gasket last time. So head gasket's just been tweaked back that way. Got the head bolted down. Just got these two outer nuts to put on when the new nuts arrive. Yeah, we've just got to build this rear stabiliser, distributor back in. So essentially it's just sat on the blocks here in the frame at the minute, but as you can see, it's looking pretty good now. So yeah, we've got a bit more stuff painted. Rear guards, there was actually 5 holes here. I think it's for the rear seat, I'm told. Yeah, the owner of this wanted me to weld them up, and just because it just had 5 big ugly dome nuts on there. So anyway, that's what we've done. That's what he wanted, and that's what we've done. So yeah, we've got the front guard now just finished off on the paint table, as you can see. Finished off, so that's ready to rock and roll. And so where are we with this? As we've said, we've got forks rebuilt, gearbox is now back on, clutch rebuilt. What a job putting that clutch back together. What a job, that's all I can say with that. Maybe there's a knack to it, maybe when you've done it a few times it becomes easier, but talk about fighting with a spring. 6 of them in fact inside there. But anyway, so rear suspension's been built with a new painted shrouds on it. What we haven't done, which is perhaps a little bit of a shame, is have these away for rechroming. As you can see, I've tried to put them in the best possible position we could put them to kind of hide that bit, but look, you know, it was mentioned to the owner, but I think it was deemed, I think lead times now on chroming is just so long at the minute, and you know, at the end of the day they could be done at a later date maybe, but anyway, so that's that. As you can see, bit messy on here. We've just had, it's the weird spanners, all the weird spanner sizes for this is anyway, takes a bit of working out one thing or another, but so no, motor wise she looks great. She's sat back in the frame, and so I think some of the next jobs now is going to be, what is my next job for this now? I think we'll just carry on I'm waiting for the new nuts, the ones that show, so putting new nuts on it. So yeah, I think it's just start piecing together bit by bit. One of the next things to install on here once this gearbox is on is the electrics box that sits in here, the battery box, electrics, that sort of thing in there. So yeah, looking good. Bit of tool up time, I think. The engine's gone from on that bench over there now. There's just a few bits and pieces, so we'll have a tidy up over there, give the bench a wipe down, and away we go next. So catch you in a bit.